What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's four-game NBA main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com and presented by Super Draft. We've got ourselves just 4 games today, but we're chock full of rivalries and revenge. Let's balance that out with a little power of positivity. And right now, please hit that like button if you want to win a free month of Awesemo Plus, courtesy of Super Draft. Like this video and comment your top value play according to Draftkings salaries down below. Nobody got Jackson Hayes right yesterday, but let's get back on track today by right now hitting that like button and commenting your top value play down below. You guys know the drill. We've got just 5 minutes here in the Four Corners, so let's get right into our first corner of the top owned plays in Josh Richardson versus Boston. There was 108.8 implied points for Philadelphia. Richardson is 39% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he is 27% on FanDuel. Richardson has benefited from Ben Simmons' increased ball dominance of late, but he averages just 0.9 fantasy points per minute with Simmons on the court and Joel Embiid off, so he's no sure thing against Boston's strong wing defense. Another top owned play today looks like his teammate Al Horford in that same game versus Boston, where it's 108.8 implied points for Philadelphia. Horford is 35% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he is 53% on FanDuel. Horford should start at center with Embiid out with a reasonable price and a solid 1.1 fantasy point per minute average in court time without Embiid this year, though he's a worse play if Kyle O'Quinn starts as he did last time when Embiid missed. And our last top owned play today looks like Kevin Love in that game at Detroit, where there's 106.8 implied points for Cleveland. Love is 29% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he is 42% on FanDuel. Love went off for 49.25 fantasy points against Detroit the other day with 12 for 15 shooting. While the margins may be more narrowed thanks to his rising price, he looks good again versus Detroit's weak 110 defensive rating. And now for our next corner here, the current top values on the slate, starting with Bruce Brown in that game versus Cleveland, where there's 113.8 implied points for Detroit. Brown started last game with Tim Frazier out of the rotation, and he has upside once again against Cleveland's poor 113 defensive rating, particularly if he gets to close the game as he didn't last time out. Another top value today looks like his teammate Svi Mykhailiuk in that game versus Cleveland was 113.8 implied points for Detroit. Svi's 16% usage rate on the year isn't the most awe-inspiring, but just like Brown, he's at a respectable price against the poor defense. He's had at least 22.3 fantasy points in 6 out of his last 8 games. And a more boom-bust top value play is Christian Wood in that same game versus Cleveland, where it was 113.8 implied points for Detroit. It's a clean sweep for Detroit value, though Wood comes with the most risk and possibly the most upside with his salary down, and him able to get blowout run or steal minutes from Sekou Doumbouya, or see additional time if there's foul trouble for Andre Drummond. And now for our next corner, let's look at some of the other top plays on the slate, starting with Tobias Harris in that game versus Boston, where it's 108.8 implied points for Philadelphia. Harris averages 1.2 fantasy points per minute with a team-high 26% usage rate when on the court with Ben Simmons without Joel Embiid, and he should be firmly in the mix with less projected ownership than Josh Richardson currently has. Another core play for me today is Derrick Rose in that game versus Cleveland, where it's 113.8 implied points for Detroit. Rose is underpriced after he played 31 minutes last game with a steady offensive role and a high team total for Detroit at home. And our last core play is Derrick Rose's teammate Andre Drummond in that same game versus Cleveland, where it's 113.8 implied points for Detroit. Drummond went for 23 points and 20 boards last game against Cleveland, and even with his price up, he looks like one of the best combinations of floor and ceiling on the slate in a matchup that's going to play to his strengths. And now for our last corner, here are some low road dart throws that I'm looking at tonight, starting with Cedi Osman in that game at Detroit, where there's 106.8 implied points for Cleveland. Cedi benefited from Kevin Porter's injury with 16 shots in 36 minutes last game, and with Brandon Knight taking a big price jump, Cedi appears cheap by comparison. Another lower owned play that I'm looking at today is Andrew Wiggins in a game versus Portland, where there's 111 implied points for Minnesota. Wiggins stunk his chalk the other day, but he has a 30% usage rate without Karl Anthony Towns, and if Towns is out again, Wiggins should get a chance to be less terrible than he was with Jay Crowder hounding him in that spot. And a guy I'm surprised is currently a little bit lower owned is Russell Westbrook in that game at Oklahoma City, where there's 115.3 implied points for Houston. Russ seems like a vengeful guy, but more importantly, his price is down to a very reasonable level. He'll be the freshest guy in Houston's back-to-back after he sat out yesterday's road game with less projected ownership thus far than it seems like he would have. So that's what I'm seeing so far for today's 4-game slate. So right now, please hit that like button. And if you want a chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of Super Draft, like this video and comment your top value play according to Draftkings salaries down below. And of course, Super Draft is a presenting sponsor of the Four Corners as well as many other shows on this channel, so go check them out right now, not just for us, but for you, because you can get yourself $20 free with the promo code AWESEMO right there. All you do is deposit $100 and you get $20 instantly. So go right now to superdraft.io and use that promo code AWESEMO to take part in the future of DFS at Super Draft. And we are in the dying days of our New Year's promo code, so right now use this promo code 2020 to get yourself 20 days of Awesemo Plus premium all access for just $20. Go right now to awesemo.com/join right now and use that promo code 2020. Get yourself 20 days for $20. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I've got a ton of NFL and NBA content coming out this week, so check out what I'm doing right now on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Chris Spags. I'll be back on Live Before Lock later today with Fast Eddie Fear, so tune in then. And of course, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another Four Corners. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great night. Enjoy all the revenge and rivalry we'll see on these games tonight. And I'll see you guys again soon. So enjoy and good luck.